What's up, guys? So today I thought I'd get a little head start and start working on the Tahoe. Alright, so over here on the engine, a few things that you might notice different from the last time I worked on this. I did take off the valley cover. Right now I'll show it to you guys. Over here on the bottom I took off the oil pump. On the last video I told you guys about the tensioner and the oil pump. Well, there was the 4 bolts right here for the oil pump, plus it has a pickup tube which has one more bolt right there. So what I did, I had to loosen up the oil pump, the oil pan. I had to loosen up all the bolts and lower it down just a little bit so I can get to this bolt right here on the pickup tube. Took off the oil pump. I took off the tensioner, the LS3 tensioner. Right now I'll show it to you guys. Took off the cam plate, and I took out the cam, the sprocket, timing chain, and the cam. On top I said the valley cover, which is over here. So this is the original valley cover, hella dirty. So over here with the new valley cover, this one's from a LS6 I believe. So this one, the oil passage that goes in is blocked off. The ones that go to the solenoids are all blocked off, and they just have this little O-ring, the rubber O-ring, just to block it all off. Over here is the oil pan, the oil pump. And from the bottom where the pickup tube, I have the O-ring right here. That's the used one. I might put some new ones if I find a good size. But anyways, this is the LS3 timing chain tensioner. Right here it is a little cracked, but that's because I cracked it. Besides that, you could see the wear on the actual plastic. You can see the wear from where the chain was rubbing. So it was still pretty worn out. So I took that off. Alright, so just a quick view of all the parts that are going back in. The original heads, these are the $7.99 casting. So these I only took them over to the shop and I cleaned them up real good. The valves, I just used some valve lapping compound and I just reseated the valves. Springs, these are just different springs from Texas Speed. I believe these are like LS6 springs. Rockers, we're going to use stock rockers. Push rods, this is for the cam plate, where I also have the original timing cover with a brand new front crank seal, timing cover gasket. This is an LS2 damper for the timing chain, and sprocket for the new cam. This is from Texas Speed and Performance Stage 2. This is 212, 218. The valve covers on top, I just took them over to the shop again and just cleaned them up. I'm going to use the original Harmonic balancer. These are cam bolts for the cam sprocket. One other thing, to take off the cam, you do have to remove the fan, the radiator, which is over here. Alright, so the cam is installed, the cam plate, sprocket, and the 3 bolts holding the sprocket all torqued down. I already installed the damper right here, and the timing marks are aligned. So now the oil pump. Just make sure that the O-ring is installed over here on the pickup tube. Okay. 18 pounds. Alright, so let's not forget the bolt that goes for the pickup tube right here in the oil pump. Alright, so this is the cable tie with the bolt already zip tied. So basically I was just pushing the cable tie behind the bolt, trying to pull it out from this side, and then I'll just pull it, that way the bolt can go. See how it turns? So I already got it a few threads in. I'm just gonna cut the zip tie now. Without damaging the threads. There. So there's a bolt. This is the Harmonic balancer installer tool from AutoZone. Here's a part number 27306. Inside you have different threads. So the one for the GM is this one, metric 16 by 2. Here's a thread over here, and this one is the one where you put this bearing nut. I have this socket. This is for a 1/2-inch drive, so I'm going to put this one right here. It's going to sit on the Harmonic balancer, and I still have some thread just to start off the bearing nut. So I'm going to give this just a couple turns, and I'm going to start it right there. Some of this to the threads, and we'll install the new cam bolt, crank bolt. Alright, so it was pretty much a surprise to me also, but the kit only came with head bolts for one side of the head. There's only 10 of these bolts, which is for one side, and the shorter bolts, these are 5 per head, and they sent 20, so that is weird. We got head bolts. So another set, 30 bucks. Let's install. Alright guys, so I've got mostly everything done, like the whole front right here, water pump, the alternator, everything's torqued down, intake manifold already tightened. We got the heads, valve covers, the rockers already tightened, the coil pack, everything's already tight. The only thing basically I need is just the wiring harness, and over here up front just the radiator and the radiator fans. But after that, well, of course the little intake manifold, but after that, that's it. I am using my other phone since this one went out of battery while I was doing a hyperlapse video, so this one's off, and this one that I'm using right now is at 3% battery. So next clip is going to be the first initial startup after the DOD delete with the Texas Speed Cam, and I'll talk to you more about everything I've done maybe in another video, because there was a whole lot that I skipped. So yeah, let me just finish putting everything up right here in front, and I'll see you guys in a bit.